I have a fun little announcement. Minnesota right now. Nobody should sleep on Minnesota falls because they are spectacular. This is my third time coming home to Minnesota from North Carolina in the last 3 months-ish. And I'm home because I have 3 really young siblings that are in middle school and high school, and made a promise to myself that I would try to make as many of their sporting events and stuff as I could. So I made a little bit of change to my life. In the middle of June, I switched from a full-time associate veterinarian to a full-time relief veterinarian. I was struggling with this decision for a really long time because I was certainly craving a lot more freedom and flexibility in my life. I've really gotten into education and social media, and I was finding I didn't have enough time or energy for that. But perhaps most importantly is the ability to have the flexibility to travel and to do things with loved ones and come home and see my family, who I don't get to see nearly as much as I should. So after many months of deliberation, I decided to take the leap, and I cannot say enough good things about it. It obviously took a supportive partner, and I also had a decent emergency fund in place, as well as a partner who works full-time. So monetarily, I had the privilege of even being able to make this decision. Although in theory, you can actually make quite a bit more money doing relief, which is my hope in the long term, of course. So a lot of people are asking me about my relief job, and it's not for everybody. And I think the biggest thing that I come across when I talk to fellow veterinary professionals about this is that they wouldn't be able to handle the stress of going to a new practice every day. And I totally get that. Anybody that knows me knows that I am very flexible and adaptable to the point where I might get bored or restless being in the same spot for long term, which I think kind of came into play with my previous job. So that's something that I thrive in and I actually look forward to. I look forward to new environments, new people to learn from. I get to see the way different people practice, different patient populations, but that also comes with learning at least one new computer system probably every week, which sounds terrible, but I haven't found it to be especially stressful or anything like that. When you're coming in for your first shift with a new office, at least in my experience, they have understood that there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve with learning these new systems and things like that. So that has been fine with me. But I also know that many of my dear veterinary friends and previous colleagues are very type A, if that's one way to put it. And that makes them amazing vets in many ways, but probably wouldn't thrive in this specific environment. For me, it has been 99% positive. The only negative is that I really miss a lot of my old coworkers. I worked alongside of some of the smartest vets that I've ever met, and that really was a struggle for me leaving that, because I did find my first job out of college to be an incredible new grad job. And if anybody has questions about new grad jobs, the umbrella corporation that I worked for called Vets Pets does a really incredible job. They have a really incredible program to kind of ease new graduation vets into practice. And if anybody has any questions about that, go ahead and DM me. But the vet I sat next to, I literally felt like I was getting knowledge by osmosis, just by merely being next to her. And that really took a long time for me to get over and decide that you're a big girl. You keep learning even though you don't have all of the crutches that you had at your previous job. My technicians were also incredible and grew to be some of my really good friends, and that's been really hard. But of course, if you're friends, just because you don't work together every day doesn't mean that that relationship is over.